Hello YouTubers, my name is Attila Mate from Blue Sky Photography, and today I would like to talk to you about a topic which is very interesting, and that would be why and how to use a speed booster. Now, speed booster is a great innovation to mirrorless users. If you are a DSLR user like myself, like I am a kind of a mixed user, but anyway, so if you are a DSLR user, this video is not really for you because you can't really use a speed booster on a DSLR. So this is for mirrorless users, and how do you use a speed booster and why? Now, because it will transform your APS-C size camera to a full frame camera and your Micro Four Thirds camera to an APS-H camera. So how is that happening? Now, you can have different brands, in speed boosters. Like the most common one I would say is the Metabones speed booster, and they are pretty pricey. They are expensive. They are like 500-600 euro, 400 euro, 500 euro. Depends, what type do you buy, with autofocus, without autofocus, and all that kind of things, But you can get also cheaper one, which is the Zhongyi or I don't know, whatever you say. I will place up here, the picture, because I can't pronounce, this is Zhongyi speed booster or whatever. Anyway, that is a Chinese speed booster, but in the same time, optically, it is good enough. It is very good, actually. Some comparisons, they will say that it's even kind of the same like Metabones. Now, I wouldn't say it's the same, but obviously I would say that for the price point, it's good enough. The price is very, very different because the Zhongyi will be less than half of the price, like the Metabone speed booster. Okay, what is happening when you use a speed booster? Like you all know probably, you get your lens and you put on your mirrorless camera, and you have an APS-C size sensor, or you have a Micro Four Thirds sensor. Now, when you put the speed booster between the lens and the camera, the speed booster will actually, because the APS-C size sensor, is like that big. The lens, what you put on the APS-C size sensor, it is actually designed to cover the whole sensor. Now, the only requirement when you use a speed booster on your camera is that you have to use a lens which is designed for a bigger sensor. So, if you have an APS-C size camera like a Fuji X-T2, or you have, I don't know, a Sony A6300, A6500, or you have whatever, when you have an APS-C size camera, you must use a full frame lens. When you have a Micro Four Thirds camera, you must use an APS-C size lens or a full frame lens. Why is that? Because what the speed booster does, when you have the APS-C size sensor and you have the lens which is designed for the full frame sensor, obviously that is bigger, the speed booster will collect the light, all of the light which one is coming through the lens, and that will focus on the APS-C size. Because when you put only the lens on the camera without the speed booster, obviously much light will go near the sensor, so it will be kind of lost. Now, all that light which is lost, it's because obviously the lens is covering a much bigger space, like the sensor itself, because it's made for full frame. So the speed booster will collect all that light and narrow it down and focus it on the actual sensor. So that's why it happens that when you put a speed booster on your camera, your depth of field will shrink down, and your light gathering capability will grow. So it means if you have, let's say if you have Sony Sigma 18-35 zoom lens, yeah, on a Micro Four Thirds camera, which lens is obviously the Sony 18-35 is made for APS-C. Now, if you put that lens on the Micro Four Thirds camera, that Micro Four Thirds camera will actually act like an APS-C, or even a little bit bigger than the APS-C, like it would be almost like an APS-H size sensor. And the depth of field will be the same like on the APS-C. And even the light, what you get, it will be not 1.8, the light it will be like 1.5, 1.4. something like that. So light gathering capability will grow because all that extra light which is actually gone near the sensor without the speed booster will be all collected and narrow it down and focus on the sensor. So you will get actually better light gathering capability than if you just put the lens on the camera. Now this is a great innovation, I tell you. Obviously you don't have to expect that you will get the same image quality like only with the lens itself, because you put an extra glass in there between the lens and the camera. So if you put an extra glass, that means that your image quality will be kind of affected. So it won't be as sharp, it won't be as detailed, the shot. But in many cases, it works. It works because you have to deal, you know, like if you have plenty of light, don't do that. But if you know shallow depth of field, if you want shallow depth of field, or if you want more light, use the speed booster. And it works, I tell you. Like I said, some of the speed boosters, they have autofocus as well. Some of the speed boosters, they don't. It depends what kind of lenses do you want to put, Nikon, Canon, on what kind of camera. You can have a look on the Metabones website, you know, or even you can check the Zhongyi speed boosters, what kind of, you know, I will put some links up here, some pictures, so you can check. But anyway, if you are a mirrorless user, this is a very, very good idea to get your APS-C size camera, a full frame camera, so to act like a full frame camera. And I tell you, it is, if you are a portrait photographer, or if you are something like that, you know, or videographer. Many videographers, the example, they like to use the Panasonic cameras, the GH4, the GH5, the G85, and these cameras, they are macro four thirds sensor, and they will use a speed booster and use the Sigma 18-35 on the camera. And that camera will have great depth of field, and it will be great light gathering capability. And the image will be sharp enough because the Sigma 18-35 is a hell of a sharp lens. So, if you know something else, if you want to add something to this video, please feel free and leave a comment down below. And in a professional manner, we can discuss it, obviously. I'm just a human being, so I can make mistakes. So you can, if you think that I said something wrong, you can correct me. But I think that this is a great innovation, and I think that if you are a mirrorless user, you should have a speed booster, because in certain situations, it is great. It is the best thing to do. So, I hope that this video was helpful to you guys. I hope that you liked it. If you liked it, please like and subscribe and share my videos. And other than that, I wish you a nice day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.